Welcome to another edition of the St. Andrews Knights University football program with Coach Robert Curtin. I'm Mark Plemmons. And Coach, been a couple weeks since we've talked. Had a tough road trip to Bethel University. Got a bye week last week. And Coach, let's talk about what kind of things you're trying to do to get better, and particularly how that bye week may have helped you.
Yeah, I mean, we came off of a pretty long trip and a pretty long day of football. And the bye week couldn't have been placed at a more appropriate place, or in terms of our timeline for the year, getting ready to go to Davidson this week. It allowed us to get healthy. It allowed us to, really analyze, what went right, what went wrong, which was obviously the easy part, but, how we're going to fix those things as we move forward. What are the 2 to 3 things we want to work on, in special teams, in defense and offense, and how do we want to change the trajectory of our season so that it becomes more positive?
Coach, I know when you play back-to-back games, you're constantly getting prepared for the next team, and sometimes you don't have that opportunity to go in and work on what you want to do to improve your team and to set your things in place. And I guess the bye week gives you an opportunity to do that. We got Davidson coming up this week, Coach. The strategy doesn't get much, or the competition doesn't get any easier. You've got an FCS team that's made the playoffs back-to-back, and they're coming off a conference opener win up at Marist. Talk a little bit about that game and talk about what the Knights need to do this week to be successful.
Yeah, we broke up a little bit, but what I understand is, coming off back-to-back, tough games at Bethel and Lindsey Wilson, and then rolling into FCS Davidson, who is quite well. I mean, for us, it's about doing football basics right now. It's about getting back to the basics, block and tackle, run hard, break down, buzz, hit, shoot, rip, all those things that you learned as a young Pee Wee football player, and now you've got to put it all together. Davidson, had a very big win against Marist this past weekend, and they did some things a little different than they normally do. They, I think their quarterback, I think his name's Coulter, he threw 5 touchdowns, and they hadn't seen that since, I think, 2013-14. So that being said, they still ran the ball inside very well. So, for defensively, we're still going to have to stop the run and, look to, have this young man who's quite capable have back-to-back weeks of where he takes and puts his team on his shoulders offensively. For us offensively, I mean, we've just got to control the clock. We've got to do what we set our minds to do. We've got to be able to run the ball. We've got to be able to chew up time and gain confidence and momentum in our young kids. And the young kids got to maintain that confidence within themselves. So, and on special teams, we've given up a touchdown every week. And that's what we've given up. Yeah, we've given up a touchdown every week, and that's not a recipe for success. And so we've Coach McClure, great special teams coordinator and DB's coach, he's refocused them on making sure that, they're hustling to the ball, they're breaking down, they're getting good hits, they've got their landmarks in sight. Again, all these things are very basic fundamentals of football, of team football. As you take individual skills and you put them with teams, and then collectively you put the teams together. That's what we've really focused on this last 2 weeks. Davidson has had a slower start than they're accustomed to, but, by no means are they not a powerful team. They put almost 50 points up on Marist. So, but if we do the basic fundamental things, the building block things correctly, we may challenge them in some arenas that they were not prepared for, and that's what we're hoping to do.
Coach, now it's a short road trip this time for you up to Davidson, and I know there's a lot of St. Andrews folks in the Charlotte area. It'd be good to get them out to the football game this Saturday.
That is one of the great things about, Davidson offering us this opportunity, among some of the other things that they provide us as a young, burgeoning program. I'd like to use that term. But we do have a lot of alumni who like to, Davidson's a beautiful campus. It's very much like St. Andrews. It's a very beautiful campus. And Davidson and Coach Abel, they are first class. They're a class act. So they put on a really good show. Of course, now we're going to be in their brand new stadium. They've got a brand new stadium, football stadium, brand new turf. And so we're excited about all that. But we, last year, and this is my only point of reference, we had a great showing at Davidson. And so we're looking forward to having another great showing and just pick it up a little bit from where we left off last year and give both our fans and maybe some Davidson fans some things to think about when they look at St. Andrews Blue.
Yeah, Coach. And, of course, this game's going to be at Richardson Stadium one more time before they get to the new stadium out at Davidson. And this is the 100th year of that stadium that they're playing in.
Wow.
So I think it turns 100 in October, so just a little bit short of the 100th anniversary. We will be on the air audio-wise on the 485 Radio Free Cabarrus YouTube channel. We'll be broadcasting the play-by-play of the game audio only. So if you can't make it to the game, certainly tune in to this Radio Free Cabarrus 485 sports channel. Coach, what else do we need to know about the Knights for this week?
We used our bye week smartly, I believe. We're going to come to a great football program, a storied football program in Davidson, and we're going to play some football. We're going to give them everything we can. We're not going to let the transgressions of the negative transgressions of these last 2 weeks get us down. We've got a very young, talented group of young men who we're excited at the opportunity. There's rumors that I think not only you guys airing it, I think it's on ESPN3. So,
yep.
I know my wife personally, she listens in all the time. And so she'll be excited to hear you guys. One small community playing another small community. They're just a little further in their 100-year timeline. I didn't realize this was the 100th game, I guess, with the 100th year.
At this particular stadium, yeah.
And this is the last year in that stadium. Is that correct?
Yeah, and a brand new stadium opens up next season. So, yeah,
okay.
They'll keep this stadium going on at Davidson, I think, for lacrosse and some things like that, and then move football and soccer, or actually soccer's in a completely different stadium. But historic stadium, and you'd like to make some historic things happen for St. Andrews coming up this week. Coach, let's get you. I know we've had some lags in the audio a little bit today. We do apologize for that. We struggle to control the internet, and we haven't been able to figure out how to do that just yet. This has been the St. Andrews University Knights football program with Coach Robert Curtin. I'm Mark Plemmons for 485 Sports. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks for joining me.